Alina Vasquez pulled her jacket tighter against the October chill as she moved through the dense forest preserve. Her flashlight cut through the darkness, illuminating ancient oak trees and scattered fallen leaves. As a xenobiologist working for the government's classified research division, she often found herself in remote locations at unusual hours, but tonight felt different. The electromagnetic readings on her equipment had been spiking for weeks, suggesting something extraordinary. Hidden in these woods, a low groan echoed through the trees, stopping Alina in her tracks. She switched off her flashlight and listened. The sound came again, definitely not from any earthly creature she knew. Her heart raced as she crept forward, following the noise to a small clearing where moonlight filtered through the canopy. What? She saw defied every scientific principle she'd studied. The figure lay crumpled against a massive boulder, clearly not human. His skin held a faint luminescence, pale blue with intricate silver markings that seemed to pulse with his breathing. He was tall, muscular, with features both alien and strangely beautiful. His dark hair fell across a face that was angular yet noble, and his clothes appeared to be made from some kind of advanced metallic fabric. Alina approached cautiously, her scientific training warring with basic human fear. The being's eyes fluttered, open, revealing irises that shifted from deep purple to brilliant gold. When he saw her, he tried to sit up but collapsed back with a pained grunt. "Please," he whispered, his voice carrying an accent she couldn't place. "I mean no harm to your kind." Alina knelt beside him, her medical training taking over. She could see a dark substance seeping from a wound in his shoulder, though it wasn't quite like human blood. "You're injured," she said softly, pulling out her emergency medical kit. "Let me help you." The alien's eyes widened with surprise. "You would aid me, knowing what I am?" "You're hurt," Alina replied simply, beginning to clean his wound. "That's all that matters right now." As she worked, Alina felt an unexpected warmth spreading through her chest. There was something about this being that called to her, something beyond mere scientific curiosity. His skin was warm beneath her touch, and she noticed how his breathing steadied as she tended to him. "My name is Kethver," he said quietly, watching her face in the moonlight. "I am what your people might call a guardian." "Guardian of what?" Alina asked, meeting his golden gaze. "Of this world," Kethver replied, "and perhaps now, of you." Their eyes met and held, and Alina felt something shift inside her. This wasn't just a chance encounter. Somehow she knew her life had just changed. Forever. The wind whispered through the trees around them, as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting to see what would unfold between the human woman and the alien warrior who had fallen into her world. Secrets of 2 worlds 3 days had passed since Alina brought Kethver to her remote research cabin. She'd told her supervisor, Dr. Marcus Webb, that she needed time to analyze some unusual samples, buying them precious privacy. Kethver's wounds were healing with remarkable speed, but Alina found herself reluctant to see him leave. "Your people don't know about us, do they?" Kethver asked one evening as they sat by the fireplace. He'd been watching Alina work at her, computer cataloging the data from his bioscans. "Some do," Alina admitted. "The government has suspected extraterrestrial contact for decades, but concrete proof has been elusive. You're the first living being I've encountered." Kethver nodded gravely. "We've been watching Earth for millennia, but our code forbids direct interference. I shouldn't be here." "Then why are you?" Alina set down her coffee mug and turned to face him fully. Over the past few days, she'd found herself increasingly drawn to this mysterious being. There was a gentleness in him that contrasted with his obvious warrior's strength. "Because Earth is in danger," Kethver's expression darkened. "My people detected ships approaching your solar system. A hostile species called the Kethmori, conquerors who consume worlds for resources. They'll arrive within your month." Alina felt the blood drain from her face. "Why haven't your people warned Earth officially?" "Because interference with developing species is forbidden by galactic law." "But..." Kethver stood and moved closer. To her, his luminescent markings pulsing brighter. "I couldn't stand by and watch your world burn." "So you came alone?" Lena's voice was barely a whisper. The implications of his sacrifice weren't lost on her. "Yes. And now I'm branded a rogue, cut off from my people." Kethver reached out, his fingers barely touching her cheek. But being here with you, Alina, I find I don't regret the choice. Alina's breath caught. She leaned into his touch, feeling the warmth of his unusual skin. Kaith single quotes var. Before she could finish, her secure phone buzzed. Doctor. Webb's voice crackled through the speaker. Alina, we need you back at the facility immediately. Satellite readings show massive objects moving past Pluto. Whatever you're studying out there, it's connected to something big. Lena and Kethfer exchanged worried glances. How long do we have? She asked him. Perhaps 3 weeks, Kethfer replied. Lena, there is something else. Something that might save your world, but it requires... ... Double quotes. He hesitated, his markings shifting to a deeper blue. Requires what? A bonding between our species. An ancient ritual that would allow me to access my people's weapons systems remotely. But it would bind us together permanently in ways your science couldn't understand. Alina stared at him, her heart racing. Was he asking what she thought he was asking? Bonding? Notter stepped closer, his hands framing her face. It means our life forces would intertwine. We would share thoughts, emotions, even lifespans. You would become part of my world, as I would become part of yours. Elena's scientific mind reeled with questions, but her heart already knew the answer. She'd felt the connection from the moment she found him. This would give us a chance to stop the invasion. Yes, Kethfer's voice was rough with emotion, but only if you're willing. I won't ask you to sacrifice your humanity for my mission. Alina looked into his shifting golden eyes and saw not just an alien warrior, but the man who'd already claimed her heart. Kethfer, she whispered, I think I fell for you before I even understood what you were. He pulled her closer. There. Foreheads touching. Then you'll consider it. You'll do more than consider it, Alina said, her decision surprising even herself. I'll do whatever it takes to save both our worlds. Alina returned to the research facility the next morning, her mind spinning with the enormity of what lay ahead. Dr. Webb's briefing confirmed Kethfer's warnings. Multiple massive objects were indeed approaching Earth, their trajectory suggesting hostile intent. The military was mobilizing. But everyone knew Earth's weapons would be inadequate against advanced alien technology. That evening, Alina snuck Kethfer into the facility using her security clearance. In her private lab, surrounded by humming equipment and star charts, she began preparing for the bonding ritual Kethfer had described. Are you certain about this, Alina? Kethfer asked, as she dimmed the lights and arranged ceremonial items he'd requested, its bioluminescent markings. Cast gentle patterns on the walls. Once we begin, there's no undoing it. You'll be forever changed. Alina paused in her preparations, looking at him across the lab. I've been thinking about that, about forever. She moved closer, her hands finding his chest. 3 days ago, forever seemed like an impossibly long time. With you, it doesn't seem long enough. Kethfer's markings flared brighter, responding to her emotions. Lena, I must tell you something about my people. We bond for life. What we're about to do isn't just tactical, it's intimate, beyond your understanding. Our very souls will merge. I know, Alina whispered, her hand sliding up to cup his face. I've been analyzing the bio readings I took from you, your neural pathways, your electromagnetic field. They're designed for connection, and somehow, impossibly, mine are compatible. Kethfer's breath caught. You studied our compatibility? I'm a scientist, Alina smiled. I needed to understand what was happening between us. What I found was that we're more alike than different. And what's different, she leaned closer, her lips almost touching his, makes us stronger together. Kethfer closed the distance between them, his lips meeting hers in a kiss that sent electricity through both their bodies. Alina felt his emotions flooding through her, his fear for her world, his love for her, his hope for their future. Apart, both were breathing heavily. Now, Alina said firmly, teach me the ritual. Kethfer guided her through the ancient ceremony, explaining how they would need to synchronize their heartbeats, their breathing, their very life forces. As they began, Alina felt the boundaries between them starting to blur. She could sense his thoughts, his memories of his home world with its silver skies and crystalline cities, Alina Kethfer's voice was strained with the effort of maintaining the ritual. I can feel your mind, your curiosity, your courage. You're remarkable. And you're everything I never knew I was searching for, Alina replied, her consciousness expanding as their bond deepened. She could feel his strength flowing into her. While her human adaptability and innovative thinking merged with his ancient wisdom, suddenly, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Emergency lights bathed the lab in red as Dr. Webb's voice echoed over the intercom. All personnel to emergency stations. We have confirmed hostile contact. They're here. Lena and Kethfer broke apart, the partial bond leaving them both disoriented. But connected. They could feel each other's thoughts more clearly now, though the ritual wasn't complete. The Kethmori arrived early, Kethmore said grimly, his warrior training taking over. We need to finish this, but not here. Somewhere safe. The underground bunker, Alina said, already moving toward her emergency supplies. We can complete the bond there while the military handles the initial contact. Are they prepared to leave? Alina felt a new sensation washing over her. Absolute certainty. Whatever came next, whatever sacrifices were required, she and Kethfer would face them together. Their bond might be incomplete, but their commitment was total. Ready? Kethfer asked, offering his hand. Alina took it, feeling the pulse of his. Alien heartbeat matching her own. Ready? Together, they headed into the uncertain night, knowing that by dawn, they would either be fully bonded mates or the world they both loved would be under siege. Battle for Two Hearts, underground bunker. Alina led them to had been designed for exactly this scenario, alien contact. As explosions echoed overhead and the facility's defenses engaged the Kethmori ships, Alina and Kethmore found themselves in a reinforced chamber 50 feet below ground. We have to finish the bonding now, Kethmore said urgently, his markings pulsing in sync with the distant battle. My access to the Guardian network depends on it. Alina nodded, though she could feel his pain through their partial connection. The ritual was more intense than either had anticipated, requiring them to open themselves completely to each other. As they began the final phase, Alina experienced flashes of Kethfer's memories. His childhood on a world of floating cities. His training as a guardian. His anguish at leaving his people behind. I see you, Alina whispered, tears streaming down her face as she felt the weight of his sacrifice. I see everything you gave up for Earth. And I see your strength, Kethfer replied, his voice breaking as her memories flooded through him. Her dedication to science, her love for her world, her courage in accepting him despite everything that made them different. Their bodies moved closer together as the bonding reached its climax. Lena felt her human consciousness expanding, touching something vast and ancient. Kethfer's alien heritage merged with her earthly wisdom, creating something entirely new. Alina Kethfer gasped as golden light began emanating from both their bodies. I love you. In any language, on any world, I love you. And I love you, Alina replied, her scientific mind marveling at the energy coursing through them even as her heart surrendered completely. Now and always. The final phase of bonding was like nothing either had imagined. Their consciousness merged completely for several heartbeats, and Alina understood what Kethfer had meant about souls intertwining. She felt his alien strength, flowing through her human body, while her adaptability enhanced his ancient powers. When the light faded, they were changed. Alina's eyes now held flecks of Kethfer's gold, while his markings had taken on a warmer, more human glow. More importantly, Alina could feel the Guardian network that Kethfer now had access to, a vast web of consciousness spanning the galaxy. It's beautiful, Alina breathed, sensing the minds of thousands of Guardians across the stars. And they can see you too, Kethfer said with wonder, a human bonded to a Guardian. It's unprecedented. Their moment of connection was shattered by an explosion much closer than before. Through their link, they both sensed the Kethmori forces breaking through Earth's defenses. The weapon systems, Alina said, her new enhanced awareness processing tactical information at superhuman speed. Can you access them now? Kethfer closed his eyes, reaching through the Guardian network to touch defensive systems that had been dormant for millennia. Yes. But Alina, Using them will alert every species in this sector to Earth's existence. Your world will never be hidden again. Alina felt the weight of the decision through their bond. Revealing Earth would bring both protectors and predators, but the alternative was extinction. Do it, she said firmly. Humanity is ready to join the larger universe. We'll face whatever comes together. Gethver nodded and reached deeper into the network. Above them, ancient defensive platforms that had been waiting in Earth's outer system for millions of years suddenly came online. The Kethmori invasion fleet found themselves facing technology far beyond their understanding. Through their bond, Alina and Kethra felt the moment when the invaders realized they were outmatched. The surviving ships began retreating, sending warning signals to others of their kind. Earth was under the protection of the Guardians. It's over, Kethver said, pulling Alina close. Your world is safe. Alina leaned into his embrace, marveling at how natural it felt to share thoughts and emotions with him. Our world, she corrected. And this is just the beginning, isn't it? Kethver smiled, his markings bright with joy and relief. The beginning of everything. 5 years later, Alina stood on the observation deck of humanity's first interstellar research station. Watching ships from a dozen different worlds dock at the massive orbital facility, her daughter Luna played at her feet. The child's unique, heritage evident in her luminescent hair and eyes that shifted between human brown and Kethver's gold. Mama, look. Luna pointed excitedly at a ship with crystalline wings. Are those the singing people Daddy told me about? Those are the Kethlari, Alina confirmed, kneeling beside her daughter. They communicate through harmonic frequencies. Maybe Daddy will introduce us to them later. Alina felt Kethver's presence before she saw him, their bond as strong as ever after all these years. He emerged from the station's command center, his expression mixing exhaustion with satisfaction. The council meeting went well? Alina asked as he joined them. Better than expected, Kethver replied, scooping Luna into his arms. The little girl giggled as his markings brightened in response to her joy. 3 more species have agreed to establish research partnerships with Earth. Your people's adaptability continues to impress the galactic community, Lena smiled, remembering how terrifying the idea of first contact had once seemed. Now human scientists worked alongside alien researchers on dozens of worlds while alien students attended universities on Earth. Integration hadn't been without challenges, but humanity had proven remarkably resilient. Dr. Webb called, Alina said as they walked toward their quarters. The new xenobiology program has more applicants than they can handle. Apparently every young scientist on Earth wants to study alien life forms. Kethver chuckled. Can you blame them? Their professor did fall in love with one. Lena blushed even after all these years. Their relationship had become something of a legend in both scientific and diplomatic circles. The human xenobiologist and the alien guardian whose bond had literally saved 2 worlds. Daddy, tell me the story about how you met Mama, Luna requested. As they entered their family quarters, again, Kethver asked with mock exasperation, but Alina could feel his joy through their bond. He loved telling their daughter about that night in the forest. Please. Luna settled onto the couch between her parents, her hybrid nature allowing her to sense their emotions as clearly as they could sense each other's. Kethver began the familiar tale while Alina watched their daughter's face light up. The windows of their quarters, she could see Earth in the distance, blue and beautiful, and no longer alone in the universe. And then Mama said she would do whatever it takes to save both our worlds, Kethver continued, his hand finding Alina's. And did she? Luna asked, though she knew the answer. She did more than that, Kethver said, his voice soft with love. As he looked at Alina, she gave me a new world to call home. Lena squeezed his hand, feeling the pulse of their shared heartbeat through their bond. They'd risked everything for love, and in return, love had given them everything. A family, a future, and a universe full of possibilities. Outside their window, ships from across the galaxy came and went, carrying beings who had once been strangers, but were now allies, friends, and sometimes even family. Humanity had found its place among the stars, and Alina knew that this was only the beginning of their greatest adventure. As Luna drifted off to sleep between them, Alina reflected on how one night in a forest preserve had changed not just her life, but the destiny of two worlds. Sometimes the greatest love stories began with the simplest act of kindness, seeing someone who needed help and choosing to reach out rather than turn away. "What are you thinking about?" Kethfer asked softly, his alien intuition reading her. "Emotions. Us," Alina replied. "And how grateful I am that you crashed into my world." Kethfer. Markings glowed softly in the dim light. "Technically, I landed quite gracefully." Alina laughed quietly, not wanting to wake Luna. Even after all these years, even bonded across species and dimensions, Kethfer could still make her laugh. "I love you," she whispered. "I love you too," he replied, across all worlds, through all time, and somewhere in the vast network that connected all guardians across the galaxy. Their love story continued to inspire others to reach across the divide between species, to find connection in difference, and to choose love over fear, no matter how impossible it seemed.